I have recently stumbled upon some weird and unusual editions of Windows, macOS and Linux that you probably haven't seen before. Windows 7 back in the day had a special release called the Starter Edition. It was the version of Windows 7 that typically came on netbooks, Windows tablets and low-spec hardware in general. At a first glance this looks like regular Windows 7, but actually here it says Starter. And let's see what happens when we log in. The first thing that you notice with this version of Windows 7 is that the wallpaper is completely different. But the crazy thing about this wallpaper is that apparently you cannot change it. From what I can tell from the settings, you can't even find the change desktop background option. Maybe there's like some sort of a trick we can use. Wait, penguins. Can I set it as the background or no? Doesn't seem like it, no. The next thing about Windows 7 Starter Edition is that apparently you can have only 3 programs open at once. Let's see, let's try. We have Windows Media Player, we have Explorer, WordPad, what about Fax and Scan? There's 4 programs now. As we can see, I can open multiple programs. Now, this might be a thing because I am using a virtual machine right now, so maybe I have got more RAM than I'm supposed to be having. And Windows 7 Starter Edition actually comes only as a 32-bit version, and there's only a maximum of 2GB RAM that you can give this operating system. And then one of the next quirks I have to mention about this operating system is that since it was meant for low-spec hardware computers, it doesn't come with the Aero theme. It's only the Windows Basic. It really feels like a lot of the settings are gone for some reason. I cannot find most of the settings actually. There are no themes you can enable, there's no wallpaper changing and stuff like that. And now for the main question that I wanted to answer, and that is this operating system even usable? I guess this one does the job. I guess it is usable. But was it a good experience? Probably not so much. Next we have to look at macOS and its server release of OS X 10.6 Snow Leopard, which was released back in 2009, and it came with a bunch of features that you did not get with the desktop release of macOS X. macOS X Server. This is probably my favorite variation of the Aqua theme, especially all of these reflections on the dock. Server Preferences, what is this one? Server Preferences, and this one looks a lot like System Settings. And why is everything grayed out? I guess there's no connection made, that's why. Server Admin. On this one it seems like we can preview information about our servers and configure some kind of access. Okay. File sharing, graphs, logs. Okay, sure. Then what is Workgroup Manager? For every single one of these I have to make a connection. Also on this one I guess we can create like multiple different users and adjust their privileges. Then one interesting application is Podcast Composer. I can't remember if this was an application in the desktop releases, and for some reason it doesn't work. RAID Admin, Podcast Composer, iCal Server Utility. I couldn't find precisely what was the market share for macOS X Server back in like 2009 when these were still coming out, but I'm guessing it wasn't quite a lot, because in 2011 Apple released the last macOS X Server edition, which was OS X Lion Server, and after that it was just replaced with the Server application, which came bundled with regular macOS releases, but it was completely removed from macOS in 2022. The Server application came with less features than macOS X Server system releases, and the Server application got discontinued as well in 2022. And now we have to check out an operating system which has been on my radar for quite a long time, but I just never checked it out. The Ubuntu Unity flavor. Ubuntu's Unity desktop was created by Canonical in 2010 to unify desktop, mobile and TV interfaces. It first debuted as a user interface in 2010 with Ubuntu 10.10 to replace GNOME, and Unity stayed as the default desktop environment of Ubuntu for years. However, Canonical decided to abandon the Unity project in 2017, and Ubuntu started using GNOME 3 desktop instead. Later, the Unity desktop interface got resurrected unofficially in 2020 with a project called Ubuntu Unity Remix. This unofficial resurrection of Unity was developed by a 10-year-old kid from India. Because he was very sad that Canonical had discontinued Unity, he really loved the desktop interface and wanted to bring it back. Ubuntu Unity Remix was just the old Unity environment combined with the newer Ubuntu 2004 as the base for it. In 2022, the Remix label was dropped and Ubuntu Unity became an official flavor of Ubuntu Linux and is regularly getting new updates and being developed by a very small team. From what I have seen, the Unity desktop interface actually looks pretty nice. It comes with a couple of features you probably don't see elsewhere. Okay, let's see. I know there was some sort of like an vertical applications menu. Where is that? Oh yeah, it's this one. So I can see that we have multiple different categories that we can search. We can search for files or something, applications, files and folders, videos, music, and photos. Okay. So this one, I guess it replaces the GNOME's overview that probably a lot of people use. And then I can see that we have a bunch of buttons on the top right side. What is this one? Show on board. And we have like a touchscreen keyboard. I probably wouldn't use it. What is this one? Switch theme. Oh. Okay. And we actually also have like a default Ubuntu Unity's background, except for some reason I see some kind of compression artifacts. Like, is the wallpaper low resolution or something? It says 1080p and I'm right now on a 4K display. While this one is like a 4K wallpaper and this one looks fine. So is it the resolution fault or something? This one also looks low resolution. And with Ubuntu Unity is that they are actually struggling with this project from what I can understand. The team was planning to release like the next LTS release, but they could not complete certain key milestones in time, and that's why this was made into a regular release. Oh, and this settings panel is like ripped out of Linux Mint. I see we have some kind of unique tool, Unity tweak tool. What is this one? Okay, and what can we do here? Start switch or alt tab. That's cool. Invoke HUD. There's like a separate search function on this one as well. Always in top. Okay. Interesting. That's about all I had to say for this video, but you can check out a very similar one next, and I'll possibly see you there.